We are live. Good night, everybody. Let me
Good
go ahead.
night. Good night, everyone.
Let me do this. Put everybody into here. Want to welcome everybody to our what link up for life first episode. And tonight we have we have two young ladies. First we have Karita Green. What's the, oh, they call you Greenie?
Yes.
Well, welcome, and thank you for joining
No,
us.
I was humming to my picture. I'm like overthinking which picture to choose.
To use. That's okay. Um, Let me see. How do I do this? I'm trying to. I don't know why this thing is not letting me discard. I'm trying to make sure that we're on all platforms. And for anybody who's watching, if you want to share, feel free to share.
So, Karita, how has your week been?
Huh?
How have your week been? Could you hear me? Because usually I am so
Yes.
loud.
I'm good. I'm good.
You look very nice tonight.
Great. Let me put my hearing aids in, but yes, I'm good. Thanks for
That's
asking.
good. Well, um, we will go ahead and start with you. Like we told everybody, every fourth Thursday, we will be doing a segment called Link Up for Life, um, where we will have guests that are going to come on and
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to have a discussion. And these are guests that are ready to or open to putting themselves out there, right? So we thank you because you are our first guest who has decided to do this. So
Thanks.
thank you for being bold.
Yes, we asked so much
It's
people,
funny
and
because
every
I think I'm bold, but I was like pretty nervous. I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna say? Say the right things.
No, no,
I'm an
um,
overthinker, so.
that's okay. A lot of us are. I'm a big overthinker. Still working on that. But why don't you just go ahead and I mean, I could sit here and ask you basic questions, and we will, but go ahead and just introduce yourself. Who
Alrighty,
is
all right. So, my name is Karita Green. I go by Greenie by my friends, Karita by my family. Um, I reside in Washington D.C. Born and raised in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. I've lived in North Carolina for a few part of my formative uh, adult years, where I went to St. Augustine's College for a few years before I transferred to Howard. And I'm a proud mother of two girls, 22 and 15. I'm a Scorpio. I am a director at a nonprofit out of Baltimore in DC, where I, focus on workforce development for adults and children. Um, yes, I love music. I love music. I'm a lover of music. I'm a lover of food. I'm a big foodie. I love live concerts, comedy shows, anything live. I think I'm funny. Don't ask my mother because she'll say I'm not. But I think I'm funny. I'm a very humorous and quite adventurous person. I'm open to new things, so I'm not too closed minded. Yeah,
cool?
that's
Cool.
me in a
That's
nutshell.
good. That's good. Any certain type of music or just all music?
Um, Let me see here. Classic soul and R&B is my top. One of my favorite singers is Lionel Richie. So that just tells you kind of the genre that I like. Anita Baker, Whitney Houston. I love soca, calypso, jazz, classical,
you love it all,
Broadway
huh?
themes, the whole spectrum, rock and
Good.
roll. Yes. I
good.
love them all. Pop rock, you name it.
That's cool. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Um,
Good night,
Pinky,
Michael.
yes, good
Am I?
night. Go ahead.
Did you say Pinky?
No, we had
So
someone.
you
I
guys can't hear me very well?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I should have said in my intro that I am hearing impaired. So I wear hearing aids. I started losing my hearing when I was in my 20s. And so yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whoever I date in the near future or a later future, they will have to have a lot of patience and compassion to deal with someone who has a disability. It's that's my only insecurity that I have. I don't have any other insecurities other than
Hmm.
like, I get a little anxious talking and meeting people for the first time because of my hearing impairment. But yeah.
Okay. Wow. I did not even know that. I've known you since you were a tiny tot. Um. Wow. Um. Okay. Well, we will go ahead. Pinky, do you want to start with?
Ask me
um,
anything. Don't be shy.
no, I'm because someone who's on, he said I like her. I love music a lot.
Ah,
So do you want to start with asking a question?
I could. Well, so Karita, what are your relationship goals?
so my relationship goal is someone who loves their community, big family person. You have to be a big family person. I have like 25 nieces and nephews. I have 8 siblings. I have a bonus mom. My mom and dad are still alive, praise God. So I come from a big family on both sides. So we have a lot of family functions. So someone who is stuffy that doesn't like gatherings, probably yes, it's not going to be the best bet for me. Uh, Someone that's really funny. I have to have humor in my life because life is already stressful. So I need to have humor in life. So if someone if they can't meet me at that like funny, sarcastic bone, they're too serious. I probably won't be that interested because I like to joke here and there, and I don't mind being the end of the joke either. As long as you could take it back when I dish it out, right?
Well,
um,
Michael here says that he likes you. I like her, and he said he loves music too. We did not tell them how to get in contact with you. So I think we should have started there.
uh-huh.
How do people get in contact with you if they are interested in you?
If they're interested, they can inbox me on Facebook. On Facebook, my handle is Karita Green. On Instagram, my handle is Beautiful Greenie. Um, and my email is pretty simple. It's karitagreen1@yahoo.com. All
Mhm.
lowercase.
Okay.
Green
Well, what we'll
without the
do is
E.
at the end of your us asking you questions and stuff, we'll say it, have you say it one more time. Okay. And
Okay.
then we can always put it up.
You could say you'll have to say it like a couple times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you interested, so you're saying that you're basically interested in somebody who's looking for a committed relationship, somebody who is willing to invest in you for over a long period of you.
Mhm.
You're looking for no short term, no quick hookup, nothing, right? Basically, that's
Right.
what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
I'm a I'm a long-term relationship kind of gal. I
Mhm.
don't do for passing time. I don't do hookups. I don't do any of that. I'm a long-term kind of girl. I'm a Scorpio, and my key traits as a Scorpio is that I am very passionate. I love hard. There's no black and white. I mean, there's no gray area. Either I like you or I don't like you. And if I don't like you, I'm not going to waste your time. I will quickly friend zone someone really quick. Because I don't believe in wasting someone's time. I know what I want, and if you're not going that direction, I'll friend zone you because I'm 44, so time is of the essence. Life is short, and I would really like to spend the rest of my wonderful years to come with someone who wants to do the same for himself.
So, how long have you not been in a relationship?
Oh gosh. Okay, so that's a joke in my family because they're like, "Why are you still single?" Because I choose to. Let's see. My daughter is 15, so I would say maybe 6 or 7 years I've been single by choice. Only because I've had my last relationship was, it was a bad breakup. It was infidelity. So, um,
Mm, I'm
yeah.
sorry to
So
hear that.
I had to like reset and like really take the time to like do the work for myself to realize like, why do I keep on choosing these particular type of men? And I
Mm-hmm.
think it was because, like, I just didn't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I
Mm-hmm.
needed to have somebody in my life because if I didn't, then I'm lonely or whatever. And so I really
Mm-hmm.
had to do the work over the years to really focus on myself and see what I like, what I don't like, get rid of the bad habits that I had in the past. Um, so that when I'm blessed with a really great guy, that I'm mature enough to know what I want, what I don't want, what I will tolerate, what I will not tolerate. And I do not make any compromises on my happiness at all. If you're coming to disrupt my peace, the door is that way. I don't care. I really don't care. Like, I really worked really hard in creating a sacred space for myself. And I take really good care of myself mentally. And so I can't allow anybody to disrupt that mental peace for me ever again.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that. So your last relationship ended because of infidelity.
Yeah, he was cheating.
Yeah,
The Yeah,
yes.
the last two was, cheated. It was on again, off again, on again, off again for like 5 years. And I was like, I'm done with you. And I moved on. And the last relationship, he knew all of the issues that I had in my previous relationship. And the
Right.
fact that he did the same thing, it was just like, ugh, girl, get it together. Something ain't
Mm-hmm.
right. You're
Mm-hmm.
not choosing the caliber that you want. So I was like, I'm taking me a break.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you went
Fine.
through that. But would you say you have learned some valuable lessons
Mm-hmm.
from that experience? And
Mm-hmm.
you learned some of the red flags to look for in relationships. You say you were going back and forth for 5 years, so you learned some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we okay, what about what is your idea of a first date? Like, what are
Oh,
you
that's a
looking
good
for
one.
in? Yeah.
That's a good one. So, my idea of a perfect first date would be like a cooking class,
Mm,
a festival of some sort, whether it's a food festival, a music festival, something, so I can like really see how that person operates out in public and
mm,
see how they operate with me out in public. Very old fashioned. So, does he open the door for me? Does he like what side of the sidewalk does he walk on? So I'm very old fashioned in those sense. Yeah, cooking class, a live festival, something like that would probably ideal for me.
Sorry, I am so distracted. We have so much stuff going on here. Good night, Narcisse. I am trying to figure out how to get in with the
Go,
comments. It's
go.
Mhm.
all over the place. So I'm trying to address the watchers, and then I listening to you. So sorry when my head got on that I'm not like I listening to
It's
you,
okay.
but so you said you wanted to do like a cooking class. You said you're old
Hmm.
fashioned, right? And I don't know if I missed this part of it. Why is it that you want to like those two activities is something that I don't know if I missed it because
Oh,
again,
okay. Yes.
what? Mm-hmm,
So I love to cook. That is my passion. cooking makes me happy. One of my hobbies is that I like to go out to really nice restaurants, try different things, then come home and remake those meals, to teach myself, like, okay, I can do this. I cook for my family events. My elder sister is like pushing me to start my own catering business.
Mm.
Yeah, I just love cooking. I will
So
spend
you
forever in a
want to
day in
do
the kitchen.
you want to do that because that's what you love to do, and festivals is things, and you listed a few
Mm-hmm.
other stuff that you would like to do too.
Mm-hmm.
I asked because some people, and Debbie probably will go in detail, some people don't like to do certain things on first date. Everybody have their
Mm-hmm.
go-to
Actually, you know
first date.
what? Another thing I would like to do, which is probably a little bit more zen. I'm a love of history, so maybe like a museum walk
Hmm.
um, would be also something ideal. I really do like history. I used to be a history teacher back in the Virgin Islands, but um, history is one of my love subjects.
Hmm. Hey, Karita. I mean, Lisa. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Good evening.
Good.
Thank you, Lisa.
So,
Um,
Karita, one more question. What's a red flag?
Hmm.
What's one of your red flags?
My red flags.
Not one, give me
My
three.
red flags would be one, what is your relationship with your family, especially your parents? Two, if you have kids, what are your relationship with your kids and your children's mother? Because I'm a single mom, and like my relationship with my eldest daughter's dad, when she was younger, it wasn't the greatest. But as she's gotten older, we really did both do the work to come together and co-parent more effectively for her. And so I kind of understand the whole toxic side of co-parenting, but also I've experienced the great side of co-parenting. So I will really I don't want anyone who doesn't have a good co-parenting relationship with their children's mother, or does not have a healthy relationship with their kids, because I know the effects that it has on the family. Okay, so this might be trivial. This might be trivial. I do not like men who spit. I swear, it's trivial. My friends are like,
We
girl,
mean
all men
spit.
spit. I'm like, no, no, because when at work, they don't spit in the carpet. Like, if you can control your spit, like if I'm walking with you and you spit on that pavement, you best believe that it will be our last date. I will block you. I think it's the nastiest thing ever. Like, I can't deal with it.
Oh,
And
God.
not
but I
a
mean,
red flag.
that's yours.
It is. It is not a red flag, but a deal breaker for me is someone who still wants to have children. I don't
Mm,
mind being a bonus mom, stepmom. I don't mind. My family is a very blended family. If you only know how blended my family is with my bonus mom, my mom, and my dad, you'll be like, what in the world? Yeah. So I come from a big bonus blended family, so I get it. But I don't want to have children physically. I'm 44 and I've been there, done that. But I'll be a bonus mom, but I do not want to have any more children. So,
I said, oh, one more question, but actually with two. And the last question is this.
mhm.
Have you been, well, I have to come up with questions because we shot a person.
No, I have a lot of questions. So go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
The question is, Karita, you said you haven't been in a relationship, but have you been dating? Have you dated within that time
I
frame?
have I have dated. I have
Okay.
dated. I live in Washington D.C., so it's really ghetto. I just to be very frank with you, I'm a very blunt person. I don't sugarcoat, and I hate when people beat around the bush. So I'm very direct. It's a little ghetto in D.C. I've done online dating. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me out of my comfort zone because I'm traditional in a sense. Like, I would prefer for like a friend or family member to say, "Hey, you know what? Karina will get along so well with X, Y, and Z. I should introduce them."
Mm-hmm.
I prefer those kind of like, you know, meeting people. And because of my hearing impairment, I'm very shy. Uh, if you just put me in a big room with people, like I'm very shy. But once I kind of like feel out the room, I just bloom, you know. Um, but I've done online dating. It's just, it
Okay.
is what it is.
Well, I done now. I done. Okay.
Um, so the question that I have for you is, what do you love about yourself the most?
Oh. What do I love about myself? I would want to say I love I love my family. If that makes sense to you, like my family is a very loving family. So I come from a family with a lot of support. And so I tend to show love most through showing support. So I really take good care of myself. I will, you know, light a candle, I'll draw me a bubble bath, and I'll be in my bedroom by myself, like nobody's business. I'll be in my backyard with a fire pit by myself and a great cigar and a nice cocktail, like no one's business. I take really good care of myself. Like I will go to a movie. So I'm very in tune with things that I love and what makes me feel happy. And I try to do those as much as possible in a supportive way to myself. So I really take care of my heart. Um, I didn't always do that in my younger years. And so now that I'm much older and wiser, I really take the time out because life is short. God can call me home any day. And when he calls me home, I just want to be able to say, like, you know what, God, I'm ready. Okay. I'm content. I did my due and I'm good. Let's roll, you know? Um and I like my freckles because it's really weird that you'll see a black woman with freckles. So I get a lot of compliments about my freckles. I call them my love marks. I get them from my mom's side of the family because my mom's side of the family is French. So yeah, I like it.
Cool. Okay. Another question I have for you is, are you open to someone who is not in, I think you kind of alluded to it, but someone who is not in your general vicinity? Um,
Yeah, yeah. I've dated long distance before.
mhm.
Um, so I'm open to that. They don't necessarily have to be in the DMV area. Um, they should be open to travel to the DMV area. Um, I'll travel, but you have to travel too. And
Yeah.
I am a stickler for if you really want to see me, you'll see me, right? And if
Yep.
I really want to see you, you'll see me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
excellent. Another question I have for you is, what do you love the most about what you do, whether in your, in your career or in your free time?
Mm. So in my career, I work with a lot of forgotten folks, you know. I work with returning citizens. I work with women who have been through trauma. I work with children who have been through trauma and helping them put the pieces back together and creating a better version of themselves. I like that um, because I had to do that for myself. Um, and being that my kids are a lot older, like especially for my eldest, like I am now in the parent friend zone. You know, like I've been her parent for up 10 years. Now it's time for me to be that facilitating like girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
That like empowers her to make the right decisions for herself. Um, so I like doing that as a mom. I do the same thing for my 15-year-old because I know teenage years are kind of crazy
Yeah.
now in America. So, you know, I'm very open. I have very open conversations with her. So that's what I really like doing.
Okay.
Mm.
Excellent. Um, and what is something you love to do but you don't do enough of?
Travel. I love to travel, but I don't do enough. I
Okay.
love to travel.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then my final question for right now
Hmm.
is, why do you feel like you're ready to date?
I'm ready because I've done the work, and mm, I always said that God will let me know when I'm ready, right? I did the work personally, I did the work spiritually, I did the work mentally. And so now that I am a complete person, I think I'm ready to share that complete person with someone, because I'm not going to be with someone because they complete me. I want to be with someone because I'm already completed. They're just like
Okay.
enhancing the new version of Karita, because the old version, girl, she was a hot mess. I'll be honest, like girl, what were you thinking? Like sometimes I just look back on life like, Jesus, thank God for deliverance, eh? God. But yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, girlfriend. Yes, yes, yes.
And before we go to Lisa,
Hmm.
I want, because we're gonna have you say it again. If someone was interested in
Hmm.
Miss Green, what are the ways that they could reach out to you?
Okay, they can inbox me on Facebook. My handle is Karita Green. Karida Green, no E at the end. On Instagram, they can inbox me as well. I'm Beautiful Greenie on Instagram. And my email is all lowercase KaritaGreen1 at Yahoo.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Pretty easy.
Michael seemed to be interested, so I told him to go ahead and send you a message, send messenger you. Mhm.
Okay, so thank you for being number one, but you stay right there because I have a question
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
end.
Hey, Karen. Sorry. Yeah. Welcome.
So welcome, Lisa Stevens. I
Thing.
thank you for joining us. So you are number two guest on this first time of us doing the show. So I really, really appreciate you, as I explained to Karita, for being bold in taking this step. I'll ask my questions, and then and then Pinky will ask her questions to you.
Okay.
Um, Kind of the same things. Why are you at the place in your life right now where you feel like you're ready to date, meet someone?
Um, I've been dating. I think I'm more at the point of my life where I made the space um for someone else, and that includes with my work and my family, and so now I want to date with purpose, or specifically um for something long term.
Okay, cool. As I asked Karita, what do you love about yourself the most?
Um, my ability, probably my ability to be flexible, um, and open to new experiences. I think it's a marked sign of I hate this. Well, yeah, a marked sign of intelligence when you're able to embrace different opinions and different people who have a different culture, different opinions, different experiences than you are, and be able to get along, um, or grow or learn from them. So I like that best um, about myself. And then from that, it kind of flows into a similar thought that Karita shared in terms of my love of family. It's very deep. As a matter of fact, I can say undoubtedly my family and making sure they're okay has been probably the number one obstacle in terms of me dating whoever I wanted to or whenever I wanted to.
Okay. Okay, cool. And well, you know what? I didn't even give you an opportunity first, which I was supposed to do, to introduce yourself, right? So, because the question that I want to ask has to do with that. So, I'm going to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself. Who is Lisa Stevens?
I am Lisa, affectionately known as the Cake Lady. I am a multi-business owner, uh, world traveler, a mom, a wonderful sister, and a wonderful daughter. Um, Outside of that, it gets real superficial after that.
Okay. So the question I'm going to ask you is, what do you love about what you do? Again, be it in your career, your profession, your business, or just outside of that as well.
Um, well, I love the ability to create for people, or seeing my creations make people so happy. So I like that about my work, but I also like that I can set my own hours. Um, Last year, I had a family situation that required that I take a lot of time off, and I did work for about 6 months. And I don't think uh, working for someone else would have given me that flexibility, even with whatever paid time off or whatever they are. I don't think it would have allowed that flexibility. So I like that most about myself, those about my work. Just those two things kind of hit off at the top: the ability to, um, you know, create something that people enjoy and share, and then of course the freedom to not have to work.
That's excellent. Um, what don't you get to do enough of that you love doing?
Sleep.
Or is that not a good question to ask?
The PG version is sleep because I have people around me. But yeah, sleep. I don't get no sleep. I don't get no time in my bed.
Gotcha.
I, I see somebody put wait, Pinky. Look at you. I have no idea who that is. I can't. I
Um,
don't.
I'll tell you. Okay. And then, um, when you think about dating, what excites you the most about dating?
Being able to share day to day experiences with someone outside of my family. Um, Being able to learn from someone else. Being able to see someone else's perspective, someone that I respect, see their perspective on different things. So those three things kind of encompass, kind of summarize the excitement behind dating for me.
Cool. Okay. Okay. And are you open um to dating someone who is not necessarily in your general vicinity, or are you open to long distance, or you prefer someone who is close?
Um, I haven't really decided on that yet. I've been told that I choose long distance relationships because um, like I'm afraid of that connection. So as long as he's away, he doesn't live in the same space. I can pick and choose when I see him, when he sees me. And the challenge for me now is actually seeing, can I maintain a healthy relationship with someone that lives closer to me, um, and see if I'm if he doesn't get on my nerves. I can't say it any other way than that. Locally, I don't get to go out, and so I end up meeting people when I travel, which I travel a lot. Um, where I'm at in Tampa, it's everybody kind of knows everybody and almost feels like, oh, that's such and such ex-husband, that's such and such brother. And I don't like that feeling. Ideal for me too would be to date someone within my same culture, but it's the same thing when I go home. Everybody has dated everyone that I know. So I end up having by force to pull from a pool of strangers, people that are um, not well known by my circle. That way
Right.
I don't have that little crossing over with somebody else's recent ex. I don't have any of that. So it's not necessarily that I'm choosing to date people who don't live close to me. It just That's just what the pattern I've fallen into because of the things I'm trying to avoid.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, Trina, you want to go ahead?
Um, Sorry guys. I all over the place. I did like on 3 pages trying to respond to your comments to find out who it is, text who it is making the comments. So my mind is just like, and Debbie, no, I do not do good at multitasking at all. I like to stay focused. So one of the questions I asked, and I think you basically answered it. I asked about relationship goal, and I think you said you were ready for a long distance. Am I correct? So I don't
Ready
not long
for a
distance. Sorry,
long
not long
term.
distance. Wrong word. I mean, long term relationship, right?
Right.
Okay. Sorry. So, what would be one of your red flags, or
Um,
a couple of them? It don't have to just be one.
Someone that's not consistent. That always, and when I say inconsistent, I'm talking about, like, he will call every day for a week or two and then disappear, or on some days he's completely into me, and then other days he seemed like emotionally detached. I don't work well. That's a red flag for me. So I know once I start seeing that pattern, I'm out. The other thing that I've found is, guys are really great at saying, "Hey, Lisa, I'm attracted to you. Lisa, I want to get to know you better," and then that's it. Like, I like you, and then they don't pursue. So I kind of don't know if they're waiting on me to chase, and if a man wants me to chase, that's not going to happen, and it kind of sets up the dynamic of what that relationship is going to look like if he is expecting me to lead, because I'm not going to do that. Those two are the primary, the bigger red flags for me, because you can see those right away. How he speaks about the people that he's been in relationships with in the past. Um, it doesn't necessarily have to be positive, but if it's always from a negative context, then I'm thinking automatically the problem is probably you, because you either have not healed from it, or you have not grown from the person that you were when you were in that relationship. So we're probably bound to repeat the same mistakes that you had with that prior person. Again, you don't have to be, "Oh, she was a wonderful mom," or you don't have to be that way. But if you're going to bring up your ex, then it has to be from a place of healing and growth, not, she's a whore, she's a dick. I'm not going to entertain that, because then I see myself being spoken of in the same way.
Right. Makes sense.
Good answer. Good answer. Analyzing people's relationship is a good place to start. What so you said you have been dating,
Mm-hmm.
but when was your last relationship and how did it end? If you don't mind sharing. How long ago was it, and how did it end?
And don't feel compelled to answer if you
Yeah,
don't
don't,
want to
if you
answer.
don't want to, it's fine. And you don't have to say no, please don't say no names.
No. The last long-term relationship I was in ended about 2 years ago. And on the surface, his sexuality just became ambiguous to me, and I couldn't resolve that for myself. And so I ended it completely, completely severed it. Um, since then, there have been like little short-term, 2 or 3 months of somebody constant, but nothing as serious as that one was.
And you feel like you've healed from that?
Well, it wasn't necessarily anything that traumatized me or anything for me to heal from. What I realized, however, is that I have incredible ability to tolerate more than I thought I could. Because I value the friendship so much, I made myself available to find out if perhaps there was something going on with him that he felt um, either threatened or not threatened, enticed by the opposite sex. if there was something that happened to him that he felt that he wanted to experiment with the opposite sex, or maybe it was something that happened in the past and just like some latent stuff was just hanging around. Um,
Mm.
but I wasn't traumatized by it, and so um, I missed a friendship. I missed a friendship a lot, and I found myself like for a year afterward constantly trying to find someone that could meet the level of interaction that him and I had, the conversations that we had. He was incredibly intelligent. He is incredibly intelligent. And so being able to match that was difficult. And then when I found myself like constantly comparing or constantly trying to find him in other men, I kind of spoke myself down from that. And that might have been, if there was any healing that needed to be done, it was just in that, because there's never going to be someone that will be equal to this person. They will either be better or worse off. But the levels of conversation that we had, I can't expect that from someone else because he is his own um, unique person. And so I once I grew out of that stage of constantly comparing, well, he's not as social or he's not as intellectual, he's not as spiritual. I kind of grew past that to now being receptive to wherever that guy is, whatever, the guy that I meet now, wherever he is, we start from there.
Well, you sound like you healed to me. I mean, like you said, it wasn't traumatizing, but some people say the end of a relationship is a painful experience, which could be a little, stressful, traumatizing. Yeah, yeah. So, but you sound like you're better today. You learned some lessons and valuable lessons, and so you're going forward. What kind of qualities that you're looking for in a mate? You didn't mention that. Like,
um, I don't have a well-defined list. I don't have a type per se physically. He has to have nice teeth, clean nails, and dress nice, smell nice. I mean, stuff like that, yes. And then going a little bit deeper, he has to have a understanding of what being an entrepreneur, working for myself involves. I have met guys who didn't understand, I might be off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm laid up in the house. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm not answering the phone because I'm working. And especially when I have like weddings going out, or if I have a wedding and a catering to do, I'm not available. And to not personalize that. And that's something that I usually don't learn of about a guy until we've been speaking for a while. So it's not something I can meet a guy at the market and realize that he has this temperament, or he has or does not have the level of patience that's required to date someone that's high energy and um, not necessarily always busy. We make time for what we want to do, but when it comes to my career, when it comes to my work, when it comes to my clients, um, I balance that. And I think I balance it that well. But if he needs me constantly being attentive to him, that wouldn't work for me. So I don't know how to define that in terms of the kind of guy I'm looking for, other than that, because that's something, like I said, will come up
you're looking
eventually.
for somebody who is understanding and patient and willing to give.
Yeah. And what also is important is for himself. Um, he has to be a self-starter. He doesn't necessarily have to have his own business, but he has to be at a competitive level in whatever it is he's doing. I like a man who is able to command his space. So I might feel away if he is in a position where he always has to respond to someone, or he has someone that's bullying him or bossing him around. That has always, because then I feel the need to fix that. Okay, let me know what you're good at. Let's get you out of this office, or let's get you out of this space. Another thing I've
Mm-hmm.
always been really attracted to is men who create with their hands as well. I have a crush on all my handymen and anyone that fixes anything on my house. My love language though is acts of service. So whereas some women might get impressed by a man bringing them an expensive purse, uh, fix that fence for me. That's my love language. You understand? And so a man that can respond to that, he has me.
Well,
Wait, let me say something because we didn't get this from you, Lisa. If someone was interested in reaching out to you, what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Um, my in my inbox, um, writing, texting will always be a primary form for me because it allows me to communicate without having to give my 100% attention like a phone call would. It also allows me to see his level of communication and his level of intellect um, with written messages. So my Facebook page gives me opportunity to not only see his message but also see his profile, um, see what he has you made available. Like my profile is wide open. You can see everything that I post. I rarely post anything that's just to friends only. It's always public. I don't expect that level of because I don't post anything personal about my life. It's usually business related or community related. So I don't expect that same transparency in him, but at least I get to see him, see if he's got a wife hiding in the corner, a couple girlfriends. I get to see that. So um, Facebook inbox is the best.
you think me caer on Facebook, you know, see all of that. People know how to hide things on Facebook, my
Yes,
friend.
yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do. They do.
um,
I have a, oh, you have,
I,
go ahead, Gina.
yeah. So, what would be idea for a first date for you? Like, what would be some first dates
Um,
interest?
something that would allow me to see how he operates under pressure or and allow us to communicate.
Mhm.
Um, I think I shared this previously. Escape room. As a couple, we're working together. I don't know if you're familiar with what that theme room is. Um, Paintball. I love paintball. Another thing I need to add to a guy that I'm attracted to. He has to be armed. I feel best with a man that is armed, knows how to protect us, protect himself. So a gun range would be a fun first date. But that's only if he knows how to shoot. If he doesn't, then we can go on a walk because it allows us to
Mhm.
get to know each other, and a nice scenic walk would get us to talk um, and get to know each other without the pressures of paying for dinner, dressing up. Just a real nice casual first date works best for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I have a question for both of you ladies. If you were able to live someplace for 1 year, where would that be and why?
Ja. 1 year. One whole year, huh?
One whole year. You don't have to worry about expenses. Your kids are fine, and you could live someplace for 1 year. Where would that be?
With my date or by myself?
I am torn between
Either
two
or.
places. It will either
And
be Italy
Oh, you did? I wouldn't.
or Paris, or
You don't
like
want
not
to go living
Paris,
with
like
no date, no
France.
place.
France, all over France. I have family in Belgium, so I would really love to go see Belgium. And I have some family that lives on the north coast of France. So I love to go there. I have a lot of history there. My mom's maternal side of her family is from France. So I would really like to go there. But then Ghana is another great one. I really want to go back to the motherland, man. I want to go back to the motherland so bad after watching what's that Netflix cooking special? Hog High on the Hog. I think that's what it's called. After
Yeah,
watching that
he
special,
goes.
man, I
Mhm.
really pulled my heartstrings. So I guess that's three: Italy, France, or Ghana.
okay, cool. Narcisse says Legos. And how about you, Lisa?
Um, Funny enough, St. Croix, if I could be there for a year. Um, and then Morocco, because my ancestral line runs through North Africa, and Istanbul, Turkey. I've been in love with that country for a very long time, and
I love it too. I don't want to live there, but I love the
a
culture.
year. I would go there for a year. I have close friends there. My godmother is actually Turkish, and so yeah, those three: St. Croix, Morocco, and Istanbul.
Cool. Cool. That's good.
So
Well,
one question I didn't get to ask you ladies was, and that's for both of you, what do you feel about sexual compatibility, and how would you have this conversation with somebody who is that important, number one, and how would you have this conversation? Like when you're meeting the person, would you wait to meet them? How would this conversation come about? And when would be a good time?
Immediately.
Say that again?
Immediately would be like and the reason why I say that is because I'm not sure how old Karita is, but at my age, I'm meeting more and more men who are no longer high functioning sexually, and so if they're at that stage of dysfunction, I would want to know right away rather than being emotionally invested and then find out that uh, sex is optional or not even possible with him. Outside of that, outside of sexual dysfunction, compatibility can be created if you have two people who are able to respect and respond to each other's needs. You can make someone that's not compatible be compatible. But if the penis, so to speak, is broken, then there isn't anything that you can work with in that
You can't,
aspect.
you say you can make them, or you mean that they would, it's something you could work on, is what you're saying, right?
Which part? Not if it's broken. If it's dysfunctional,
Right. But even if it's dysfunctional, you're saying that, explain that so I don't get it
no,
wrong.
no. If it's no, that was what I was saying is I would want to know right away because I do not want to be emotionally invested and then find out that sex is not possible or not something that he can do. But outside of that, outside of a sexual dysfunction, compatibility is something that we build together. We might be incompatible for different reasons. I
Right.
might be less experienced or than he is, and that is something that we would work on together. So outside of sexual dysfunction, then we build compatibility as we as we get to know each other. We respect each other's needs and are able to communicate what those wants are,
Okay.
with the exception, and I have to repeat, with the exception of sexual dysfunction.
Right.
Okay. What about you, Karita?
For me, I'm more concerned with our intimacy if we're compatible that way. I have been celibate for years. I have, um, I'm really protective about my body. My body is a temple, so not everyone gets free access. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm celibate, so don't think it's gonna be a hookup at the end of this date, or don't think you could charm me into laying down my guard or anything like that. I will not be physically intimate with anyone until we are in a committed relationship that's that's set in stone.
That's
Um,
invested, that you,
mhm,
both of you
mhm.
invested in. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm more interested in intimacy more um, than sex. Because I'm 44. My body works a little way different than when I
So
was
when you
21.
said that, Karita, when you said that, because Lisa said this, and this is very important. You're 44, so I don't even know if your mind grasping that. And I saying this so you could clarify, because Lisa mentioned it, and it might be that you have not gotten to the age where you are experiencing where people are just not into having sex anymore, because, like Lisa said, it's not working anymore.
Well, Well,
So would you still
not
be
gonna.
interested in a non-sexual relationship is what you're saying? If there's other forms of intimacy, would you
Mhm.
still be interested?
Yeah, I'm a very sensual person. You know, I believe in all the senses when it comes to intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I am a very sensual person, but I understand that as folks get older, like Lisa said, sometimes your body doesn't function like it used to. I don't expect the Energizer Bunny from me, and I don't expect the Energizer Bunny from you either. Um, I'm a mom, and I'm more open to date men who have children. So when you're raising kids, you're working, your energy level fluctuates. Um, so I am understanding and compassionate in a sense that I get, like, you're not you're not gonna want to go at it 2 times a day, or you know what I'm saying. It's just you kind of like have to feel out your partner in a sense,
Mm.
and I'm just more in tune with feeling out my partner and us coming to a common accord. But intimacy is more important than sex for me, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, Debbie, you had any other questions?
Um, Again, I want to have both of them reiterate again that if someone is interested in reaching out to them, um, what is the best way for them to reach out to you?
My
Yeah.
my Facebook inbox.
Go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
Yeah, my Facebook inbox. It's Lisa Cake Lady Stevens on Facebook. So my that'd be the best way.
Okay. And Karita, you?
And I'm Karita Green on Facebook. Karida Green, no E at the end. And I'm Beautiful Greenie on Instagram. And my email is karitagreen1@yahoo.com. All lowercase.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, again, I thank you guys for the first to
I was so nervous, like
but
all day today. I'm
you
just
didn't
like,
sound nervous at
oh.
all. You did so well. You would have been hearing like thrills in my throat. You did very well. And again, it's very impressive, with us having this show, we're coming up on 2 years, to see when people are thoughtful, because I think a lot of mistakes that we
Mhm.
make in dating and in relationships is because we just do it, but we don't
Mhm.
do it intentionally. We don't
Yes.
about um, what we need to work on within ourselves, as well as what we need to look for. Of
Mhm.
course, being in relationships
Yes.
should have taught us something good, bad, indifferent, right?
Mhm.
But definitely growth and maturity. It's wonderful to hear how you and this is what I tell people. Some of the things that you say today
Mhm.
because of life changes. You know what I'm saying? But at least as of today, those are the things that you know about yourself,
Mhm.
what you want for yourselves. Like I tell people all the time, for me, it's about legacy. And I have to be very intentional because at the end of the day, I am my kids' first teacher, whether I like it or not. They learn good or bad from it. So, um,
Mhm.
and we are not perfect and we're going to still make mistakes, even
Yeah.
knowing what we're supposed to know, right?
Right.
But just being self aware is important, and definitely, first and foremost, loving ourselves so that we know love when we see it, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I
Love intentionally.
exactly. That's
Mhm.
my word. Um, who said no, not interested? Oh,
I was laughing at Karen's comment about
I
she
know.
always saying that.
swinging from the ceiling fan.
That Karen loves
I
to say
want thumbs up, Karen. Thank you, because I'm not broken yet. So
that. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on, and definitely we would love to have you back on to see if um, what happened for being, being on tonight. Um, and again, for anybody else who's watching or they know someone, every fourth Thursday, we'll be doing the same thing. Of course, we want men as well to answer the questions, because I think it also helps us to look from within, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because somebody might ask a question that you didn't even think about. Thank you guys. Thank you, of course, Pinky.
Yeah.
Um, and thank you everyone who has commented, who shared. We really appreciate everybody.
Yes.
We will be
Yes,
back.
y'all did
Thank
a
you,
wonderful
Pinky. Thank
job.
you, Deborah. Thank you,
Thank you for
Lisa.
having
Welcome,
me.
Karita. You're welcome, Lisa. It was nice meeting you, ladies. And I think y'all did a wonderful job. Um, and I wish you a lot of success out here in this dating pool because, you know,
Got a little bit of pee in it.
yeah. But I think it'll go good. It'll go good for you, ladies. I speak in life into the situation. And I hope I ain't saying I hope I gonna speak life in it. By the end of this year, I gonna be talking to somebody at least heading in that direction. I speak in life into the situation.
And again,
Excellent. Yes,
Yes,
we are called.
let's just claim it. Let's
we're
claim it.
playing
Exactly, we're
it.
claiming it. And again, we're calling this linked up for life, right?
May all the stars align.
Exactly.
All the
Um,
stars are aligned.
yeah.
Not may they are. That we speak life. They are aligned, and you will have success.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
All right, ladies. Thank
Definitely.
you for having
Thanks,
me.
guys.
You're
you're welcome.
welcome. It
You're
was
welcome.
good having you ladies. And
Alrighty.
and next week if y'all had some successful week or unsuccessful and you want to come back and let us know like what happened. It don't have to be successful. It could be whatever you want to share with us, whether you spoke to someone or not, it doesn't matter, right? If you're willing to share and you want to come back and include and tell us and tell the audience how it went, that way, we will get more people to be interested if they're interested in dating. I mean, it's a great way to do it.
Great. Will do. All
Thank you all.
Thank
And
you,
everybody have a
ladies.
wonderful
right,
evening.
have a good night.
You
We'll see
too.
everybody back here next week, Thursday.
Good night.
Okay.